Some baggage handlers treat your luggage like this, but other handlers treat it like this.
And then there's this woman at New Jersey's Newark Airport who simply uses the pushover technique.
After reading hundreds of their confessions online, I learned that the problem isn't what you think, and there's actually some clever ways to protect your luggage, so stick around. Let's start with a question that everybody wants answered. Do baggage handlers really steal from your checked luggage? The short answer is yes, it happens. While most baggage handlers are professional and do their work with integrity, theft is still a real problem that happens more than airlines want to admit. One former handler straight up said, "Oh boy, I had quite a few coworkers who were in it just for the goods, as in stealing valuable objects. I wasn't one of them, but you could tell who was. Let's just say that." Another handler was asked directly, "How often do you dudes steal stuff?" His response, "Never. It's a big no-no. I've known a couple of dudes getting fired for trying," which, if you think about it, is basically an admission that this happens if he says that people got fired for it. The items most at risk seem to be things like jewelry, perfume, small electronics, or anything that's valuable and easy to conceal. I'll explain why I personally think this type of theft is pretty rare based on my research in a second. But first, as bad as theft sounds, what most baggage handlers admit behind the scenes actually has nothing to do with stealing. It's about how your bags actually get treated in the system. One baggage handler revealed something super interesting. There's one specific type of luggage that's way more likely to just disappear into thin air. To understand why, you need to have an idea of how modern baggage handling actually works. It's not just people carting around bags from point A to point B. Most of it's automated with conveyor belts, sorters, diverters, and barcode scanners that all work together. Software reads the barcode on your bag tag and tells the system which flight to route it to. But according to one handler, mirrored colors and reflective or metallic suitcases act like reflectors and send the beam back to the sensor, basically turning your bag invisible. He says that once that happens, your bag can't be sorted to the right flight. It just gets lost in the system until someone physically spots it again. Now, I tried to find some other sources online to back this information up, and I couldn't find anything definitive. So you'll have to decide for yourself whether or not to take this random baggage handler's advice and avoid reflective suitcases. But here's what we do know for sure. Last year, only 0.63% of luggage was mishandled, which includes loss, delay, damage, and theft combined. That might not sound like a lot, but when you do the math, that comes out to 33.4 million bags. So while the odds are technically in your favor, those numbers aren't exactly comforting when you're sitting at the baggage claim watching everyone else grab their luggage and yours is nowhere to be found. Of all these mishandled bags, millions of them are damaged bags. But is it really the baggage handler's fault? We've all seen those viral videos of handlers chucking suitcases like they're playing rugby with your belongings. But before you get too angry with them, you need to hear their side of the story. One handler explained that they actually have to throw bags in order to keep up with their schedule. Because after the 300th bag of the day, when it's minus 10 degrees outside, your gloves are soaked, and someone decided to pack a literal bowling ball in a suitcase with a broken handle, you stop seeing luggage as personal property and start seeing it as a series of inanimate objects trying to ruin your back. And honestly, I kind of get it. These workers are dealing with insane time pressure, understaffing, and brutal working conditions. They're exposed to freezing cold in the winter and scorching heat in the summer. They're lifting heavy bags all day, every day. Then when you factor in weather delays, flights getting rerouted, and bags missing connections, things start backing up in the system and things get chaotic fast. One handler straight up admitted that when they're behind schedule because of weather, they have to move bags fast and things can get messy. So yeah, not every handler mistreats your bag, but when you're racing against the takeoff schedule with 200 bags piled up behind you, speed wins over gentleness every single time. That said, there are some tips that baggage handlers recommend themselves to minimize damage to your luggage. First is to make sure that all your wheels actually work, because if you have a suitcase that has one wheel that keeps getting stuck or seizes up, the handlers are going to try to roll it out of the hold, but if it keeps falling down every 2 seconds, you gotta believe that they're going to pick it up and start tossing it. So luggage with working wheels is way less likely to get tossed than things like backpacks or duffel bags because they can be rolled. They also recommend using hard shell luggage in a material that's not easily scratched, or if it is easily scratched, using one of those luggage covers. But the key is to not use hard shell luggage that's made of that slick material on the outside. Handlers say that these often will slide off of their stacks or even off the conveyor belt and smash onto the ground. Make sure you tightly secure all of your straps and handles so they're not hanging off loosey-goosey. And one handler recommends not using straps at all because they often hang off and get caught in things. And so if you want to make your luggage easy to recognize, it's better just to use stickers or colored tape or a ribbon or something. And whatever you do, don't overfill your checked bags, which is something I'm notoriously guilty of. Imagine a luggage handler tossing your overstuffed suitcase, causing it to burst open and your undies flying all over the tarmac. One handler estimated that about 50% of the issues that he sees are actually duffel bags that have the handles that aren't strapped together and they get stuck in the conveyor belts, in diverter arms, and other parts of the sorting machinery. And this causes a traffic jam where a ton of suitcases and luggage pile up from different flights. So they have to go in and try to get everything unstuck and moving as fast as possible. So basically, duffel bags are not only at a higher risk of getting lost or damaged, but they also cause these pileups that force the handlers to work more quickly and more roughly. Give this video a like if you found it helpful so far, and subscribe for more tips on how to travel safer and smarter. So all that said, baggage handlers often take the blame for missing or damaged items, but in reality, they're not the only ones that are touching your bags. Before a baggage handler even lays a finger on your suitcase, it has to pass through TSA screening. Every single checked bag gets scanned, and if something looks suspicious on the x-ray, then it gets flagged for a manual inspection. That means a TSA agent opens it up, rummages through all your stuff, and then tries to repack it, hopefully in the same condition that they found it. Sometimes they break your locks, sometimes they leave one of those little notice of inspection cards in your luggage, and sometimes they don't. I've had several of my locks missing or broken when I checked the bags, and one time even the entire zipper pull on my suitcase was broken off. But to put things into perspective, the TSA screens around 1.4 million bags every single day, and about 5% of those bags need a manual check. So if you do the math, that's around 70,000 bags being opened and inspected by TSA every day. So if your items shift or wrinkle or break or go missing, it's not necessarily the baggage handler's fault. To minimize damage from the TSA, here's a few tips. First, the most obvious thing you can do is to double check to make sure you're not packing anything that's on the prohibited items list for checked bags. Second, make sure you pack your bags neat and organized so that the agent can repack it easily. Third, don't overstuff your bags. If your bag's a chaotic mess, TSA is not going to have the patience to try to Tetris all your things back together and then jump up and down on your suitcase to try to get your zipper to close. I recommend not using those TSA locks to secure your bags for many different reasons that I cover in this video, and I prefer to use zippers, paper clips, key rings, or zipper clips instead. Okay, so let's say that the worst happens and your bag either arrives damaged or something inside is broken or missing. What are your options? It turns out that airlines are actually responsible for either repairing or reimbursing you for damage to your bags or its contents if the damage happens while under the airline's care. They make it clear that they are not responsible for pre-existing damage to your bags, which makes sense, but it's pretty easy to see how this could be used as a loophole. So it might actually be a good idea to snap a picture of your luggage condition and its contents before you check it, just so you have proof. This will also serve as proof in case your luggage gets lost and you need to make a claim for reimbursement. There are some other exceptions to what the airlines are liable for, and this sometimes depends on if it's a domestic or international flight. So I'll link to the official DOT website so you can pull it up if you ever have issues in the airport, so you can know what your rights are. Just know that the airlines aren't going to volunteer to pay for your damage unless you make a claim within their time requirements, which is often only 24 hours for domestic flights. As you can imagine, they're probably secretly hoping that you're not aware of your reimbursement rights and you just accept your damaged luggage as bad luck and move on. And it turns out that's not the only thing that airlines are trying to keep quiet about. There's actually a bunch of things that airlines don't want you to know. Things that could save you money, get you better treatment, and make your entire flying experience less stressful. I cover all of them in this video right here, and you're definitely gonna wanna know these things before your next flight. Like, subscribe, do the things. Love you. Bye-bye.